take a slow, generous breath in and let it fill your chest like the first glow of dawn spreading across a quiet hillside. Hold it gently, no rush, no strain, and release it as if you were exhaling a soft ribbon of mist into cool morning air. Again, breathe in ease and breathe out anything heavy. Feel the muscles around your eyes soften, your jaw unclench, your shoulders settle as if guided by kind hands. Notice where your body meets the surface beneath you, the steady support, the invitation to be carried without effort. The rest of the world can wait. For now, there is only this moment, this gentle breath, this deep and kindly stillness. If your thoughts arrive like drifting leaves, let them float past on a small stream within you. You don't need to catch them. You are invited to watch them go and hear, in the distance, the friendly hush of rain. It is a calm rain, neither impatient nor cold, just a steady lullaby tapping softly against a window pane. With every whisper of the rain, your breath finds an easy rhythm, in and out, safe, warm, home. When you open the inner door of your imagination, you step into a cozy cottage on the edge of a small village where the rooftops glisten under silver clouds. Night has arrived tenderly, wrapping the world in a deep blue shawl. The cottage has kept a light for you, a mellow honey glow seeping from the windows, promising warmth and stories and gentle company. You reach for the antique brass handle, smooth as a stone worn by many grateful palms, and push the door open. It yields with a soft sigh, as though the cottage itself has been waiting for you and is relieved that you have finally come inside. The first thing you feel is the warmth, a golden warmth that swirls up from the hearth. Beyond the entryway, a fireplace holds a congregation of friendly embers, their soft orange eyes blinking in welcome. A log settles and releases a quiet crackle, not a sharp sound, but a contented murmur, the way old friends speak when they've run out of stories and are simply happy to share the silence. You let your coat slide from your shoulders and hang it on a wooden peg that remembers its task well. The air smells of cedar and orange peel, and a little hint of cinnamon you can't quite place, perhaps from something that simmered earlier in the day and left a memory behind. Your footsteps meet the gentle give of braided rugs, the fabric thick and comforting beneath your soles. The rain performs a private concert on the roof, a tapping so even it might as well be a metronome for restful thoughts. You walk toward the hearth, and that's when you notice the small, perfect curl of a cat on the armchair closest to the fire. The cat is a tabby, fur brushed with the colors of toasted bread and walnut shells, a little plume of tail tucked around its nose. It is asleep, or almost asleep, but it senses you like an old song, recognizes a familiar voice. One ear lifts. The tail gives a slow hello. You move gently, as if you're stepping into a dream. The cat is kind enough to share. "Hello, you whisper, because some rooms are so tender, they ask you to whisper. The cat answers in a sound that is warmer than a word, a purr that rises from the chest like a kettle just beginning to hum. It stretches, unwinds itself from its crescent, and stands on the cushion as if demonstrating the art of being both elegant and at ease. The paws press into the fabric with little kneading movements, biscuits made on invisible trays. Closer now, you see the patterns in its fur, faint stripes like reeds reflected in a stream, a soft white bib under the chin, a dusting of lighter fur around the eyes that makes them seem forever curious and kind. You settle into the armchair facing the fire, and the cushion offers a little sigh, as though it, too, is relieved. A woolen blanket waits for you on the back of the chair, the kind of blanket that remembers winters and picnics and children who fell asleep under its weight. You draw it across your lap and tuck your hands beneath it, and a slow comfort flows through your body. Your palms, your wrists, your arms, everything sinks into a softness that says you are permitted to rest. On the mantel, a clock with a round face and gentle hands keeps time in the way. A heart does steady, patient, never forcing the moment to arrive before it's ready. Its tick is so soft, you might only notice it between raindrops. Beside it, there's a row of small treasures, a feather the color of pewter, a seashell smooth as a lullaby curve, a sprig of dried lavender tied with sky blue ribbon, a snapshot of a summer day caught in sepia laughter. These things are not loud, but they speak. Welcome, welcome, we're happy you're here. The cat steps from its chair onto the rug, approaches you with an air of mild ceremony, and hops lightly into your lap. It turns once, twice, a ritual as old as moonlight, and curls into a warm comma against your thighs. The purr fills the blanket and hums against your skin, a tuning fork finding your own quiet frequency. The rain agrees, its rhythm matching the cat's contentment, the cat's contentment matching your breath. You lay a hand gently on the cat's back and feel the rise and fall under your palm, the subtle shift of shoulder blades, like small sleepy wings. The fur is not only soft, but also alive with warmth, as if some sunbeam got trapped inside and refuses to leave. On the side table, resting on a coaster painted with tiny blue forget-me-nots, there is a mug of steaming chamomile and apple tea waiting just for you. You lift it, and the cup nestles between your fingers as if it knows the exact shape of your hands. The steam carries a sweetness that mingles with the cedar smoke from the hearth. When you take a sip, the flavors are gentle and round. Honeyed apple, a whisper of chamomile flowers, a little cloud of vanilla that drifts across your tongue. Each sip unknots some quiet place inside you, the way warm water loosens a ribbon. The room is small, in the way that cherished things are small. A bookshelf hugs one wall, filled with novels whose pages smell faintly like almonds and rain. A scarlet scarf rests over the back of another chair, and next to it, a basket of yarn, the colors of the forest floor, moss, bark, dappled light. There's a window with a deep sill, where a glass bottle catches what little moonlight filters through the clouds, holding it like a keepsake. If you listen carefully, you can hear the rain run off the eaves and drip into the herb garden below, the thyme, the rosemary, the mint, all grateful, all bowed in welcome to the water. From time to time, the wind passes like a soft hand over the roof, and the rafters answer in contented wood throat tones. In this cottage, little kindnesses are built into the architecture. The corners of the room slope softly, as if the angles were sanded by years of laughter and lullabies. The door hinges never creak, they murmur. The floorboards do not protest, they breathe. Even the flame in the fireplace behaves like a considerate guest, rising and settling without fuss, never taking more than its share of the air. If there is magic here, it is the kind that keeps its shoes by the door and speaks in a hush. With the cat purring in your lap and the blanket nestling around you, you allow your thoughts to wander wherever they wish, knowing there is no wrong place for them to go. Sometimes they hop like stones across a pond, sometimes they glide like swans, and sometimes they sit very still and simply listen. The clock keeps gentle companionship, The rain writes poems you don't need to read to understand. An ember pops softly and becomes a little star for a moment, then drifts into ash and rests. As you relax, your senses open further. You notice the texture of the blanket against your skin, a friendly heft, a weave you could trace if your fingers were not so content to be still. The chair's arms cradle your elbows in a way that reminds you of cupped hands holding water firm and kind. The air is the temperature of quiet. If there is a sound within you that was once jagged, here it becomes rounded, then smooth, then quiet, as a pebble warmed in sunlight. The cat's breathing slows a little more, settling into a rhythm that invites your own breath to follow. Perhaps you feel that pleasant heaviness at your eyelids, a gentle gravity that isn't pulling you down so much as inviting you inward toward the soft interior of the evening. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to do anything. You are exactly where you are meant to be, here in this room of golden hush, with a rain-washed world beyond the walls and a cheerful fire within. You take another small sip of tea and set the cup back on the coaster, watching a bead of condensation purl and slide. If you like, you can let your gaze rest on the space between the fire and the hearth, where warmth becomes light. That border is a peaceful place to look. The flame's edges are soft, not sharp, and they trace slow shapes that repeat in kindly patterns. A small moth, cream-colored and sleepy, flutters near but not too near, drawn by the glow, and then gently persuaded by the air to find a comfortable perch on the window's wooden frame. Even the moth knows how to be at ease here. Somewhere outside, a cartwheel murmurs along a distant lane, and then the sound fades into the rain. A bell on the village square sings once, quietly, the way a bell might remind you of the hour without insisting you do anything about it. Time is not a master tonight. Time is a quilt, and you are tucked beneath it. You stroke the cat's fur once more, and your palm comes away warm, scented just faintly of clean air and wild grass, as if the cat has wandered recent fields only in dreams. When you whisper good night, your voice fits the room, the way a candle fits its holder, perfectly, naturally, without need to be brighter. The cottage hears you, the rain hears you, your breath hears you and answers, good night and good rest, and more gentleness still. In this place, a story is ready to begin, not in a hurry, not crowded with events, but opening like a soft book in lamplight. You are here, the cat is here, the fire is here, and the rain. The evening will carry you, page by page, toward deeper quiet, with the kindness of old wood and the patience of sleeping embers. For now, you let your eyes grow heavy and your heart feel light. The next part of the tale will be waiting, like warm slippers by the hearth, when you are ready to step into it. The rain continues its song outside, steady and unhurried. You lean back in the armchair, listening to the rhythm of droplets, as though they are telling you a story older than words. Each tap against the roof and window pane is like a gentle note in a symphony of calm. The world beyond the cottage is softened, blurred by mist and rain, and it feels as though this little home has folded itself into a cocoon of safety, just for you. The cat in your lap shifts slightly, stretching out one paw, its tiny claws barely grazing the blanket before retreating again. The purring never stops, it hums and hums, a steady vibration that seems to sync with your own heartbeat. It's as if the cat has decided its only task tonight is to remind you of ease, of comfort, of how sweetly simple it is to just be. You let your eyes drift toward the bookshelf. The spines are a rainbow of muted tones: faded green, weathered blue, burgundy worn, almost to brown. Some titles are etched in gold, dulled with age, but still legible in the firelight. Others have no titles at all, their stories kept secret until the pages are opened. The thought that any one of them could be taken down, opened, and unfolded feels like a luxury. For now, though, they remain in their places, quiet guardians of evenings long past. A small sound catches your ear, not from the fire, not from the rain, but from above. It's the low creak of the attic rafters, a sound you've always found reassuring. Wooden houses speak in their own way, reminding you they are alive with memory, with warmth stored up in their beams. Every board and nail has witnessed winters and summers, and tonight they offer you their calm presence, their gentle murmurs, their promise that nothing will disturb the peace here. The aroma of your tea drifts up once more. Though the cup rests on the table, you can still taste the soft sweetness on your lips, the faint floral whisper of chamomile, lingering like a pleasant dream. Perhaps later you'll pour yourself another, or maybe the cottage will surprise you with something new, like spiced milk or honey water, but not yet. For now, the comfort of having it near is enough. The rain grows a touch heavier, and with it comes a sound that makes you smile. The rainwater slipping into the gutter and tumbling playfully down the side of the house. You imagine it rushing through the garden outside, feeding the soil, nourishing the herbs that will wait for you in the morning. Rosemary, mint, lavender, all of them washed clean, all of them growing gently in the dark. The cat lifts its head, blinking drowsily, as though hearing something beyond your range. Its ears twitch, its whiskers quiver, but then it sighs and rests again. A cat's sigh is a magical thing, soft, certain, content. You stroke the fur once more and feel the warmth bloom into your hand, as though your touch and the cat's warmth are sharing a conversation of their own. Your gaze drifts to the window. The glass is speckled with raindrops that trail down like slow-moving stars. Every drop catches the glow of the firelight, creating tiny, flickering jewels. The window seems alive with a secret universe, each drop carrying its own tiny reflection of the fire, the room, and perhaps even you. If you look closely, you see the way they race each other, tiny rivulets joining and separating like dancers who know their steps well. Beyond the window, you glimpse the faint outline of the village. A lantern swings in the square, sending a golden shimmer across wet cobblestones. Perhaps someone has returned home late, their boots clicking quietly before disappearing into a doorway. But soon, even the village settles. The light in the square steadies. A shutter closes with a faint clap, and then there is only the sound of the rain again, wrapping everything in softness. Inside, the fire glows brighter for a moment as another log shifts. Sparks flit upward and disappear into the chimney, like brief wishes carried into the sky. The warmth expands, reaching even the farthest corners of the room. You notice the shadows on the wall, long, gentle shapes that sway as if they too are part of this calm dance. The shadows bend across the rug, across the bookshelf, across the little table where your tea waits. They are not dark or frightening, but companions, moving in slow harmony with the light. Your body feels heavier now. In the sweetest way, the weight of the blanket anchors you, the chair supports you, and the cat's gentle presence keeps you grounded. In this moment, it is as though every part of the cottage has decided to hold you, to carry you into a rest deeper than ordinary sleep. The air around you feels like an embrace, tender and endless. The clock on the mantel ticks softly. Each beat is not a command but an invitation. Slow down, slower still. The cat's purr joins the clock, and the rain adds its percussion. Together, they form a lullaby, so subtle and so perfect that it seems to come from the very bones of the house, from the earth, from the sky above. You are part of this lullaby now. Your breath is part of it too, your own rhythm joining theirs. And so, part 2 of the story closes not with an ending, but with a pause, a moment of rest, of warmth, of safety, as the night deepens and you drift ever closer to the edge of dreams. The cat breathes, the rain sings, the fire hums, and you here now are exactly where you belong. The rain eases for a moment, softening into a fine mist that patters gently against the glass. You take a slow, easy breath, feeling the coolness of the night air mix with the warmth of the fire. The room seems to sigh with you, every corner leaning into this hush, as though the cottage itself is preparing to dream alongside you. The cat in your lap shifts again, pressing its head against your hand, inviting your touch. Its fur is silky and warm, carrying with it a faint scent of sunshine and grass, as if the memory of summer lives within its coat. When you stroke its back, the cat arches slightly, then settles, its purr deepening, steady as a heartbeat. The vibration flows into your hand, through your arm, and into your chest, until you feel as if you are purring, too, from the inside out. Your eyes drift to the mantel once more. Tonight, it looks a little different. Perhaps the firelight reveals details you hadn't noticed before. The seashell gleams faintly, the feather catches the flicker of flame and shines silver, and the lavender sprig releases the barest hint of fragrance into the air, as if responding to the warmth of the hearth. You imagine the lavender growing in a sunlit field, bees hovering lazily, the scent carrying far on the breeze. Even in the midst of a rainy night, summer days are held in these small keepsakes, ready to soothe you whenever you remember. The clock ticks gently, each second a soft nudge toward stillness. You notice that its face reflects the firelight, and in that reflection, the hands move more slowly, as though they, too, have decided there is no need to hurry tonight. The hour doesn't matter. The night is yours, to linger in, to savor like the last sweet sip of tea. You glance at the side table where your cup rests. The tea is cooler now, but still fragrant. You take another sip, and the flavor is more delicate this time, like a memory of apples and chamomile, rather than their presence. It feels as though the tea has decided to whisper instead of speak, letting the night's quiet be the louder voice. You set the cup back down carefully, listening to the soft click of porcelain on wood. Even that small sound seems part of the symphony. The rain, the clock, the fire, the cat, and you. The fire crackles again, sending a faint shower of sparks upward, each one like a star being born and vanishing all at once. You imagine those sparks floating out into the night, joining the rain, dancing briefly before becoming part of the earth once more. The thought soothes you. Nothing is lost here, only changed. Fire becomes light, light becomes shadow, rain becomes mist, mist becomes silence. Everything has its place, everything has its turn. The cat stretches again, this time climbing up from your lap to perch on the arm of the chair. It looks toward the window, ears alert, but body still relaxed. You follow its gaze and notice something new. the faint glow of the moon pressing through the thinning clouds. It casts a silver shimmer over the raindrops on the glass, turning them into tiny pearls. The garden outside glows faintly, each leaf and blade of grass jeweled with water. Even the cobblestones in the distance catch a gentle gleam, like polished stones under a lantern. You can almost imagine stepping outside, barefoot, into that quiet garden. The rain would be cool on your skin, the stones smooth and shining beneath your feet. You would breathe in the rich scent of earth and leaves, the freshness of rain cleansing everything it touches. The night would not be dark, but silver, soft, and alive with the hush of water. Perhaps tomorrow, when the storm has passed, you will wander the garden, but for now, it is enough to imagine, to picture yourself among the herbs and flowers, while remaining wrapped in the warmth of the cottage. The cat yawns, wide and unhurried, showing a tiny pink tongue and small white teeth before curling back into itself. It settles once more on your lap, finding the same position it had before, as if it knows the exact spot where it feels most at peace. You marvel at its certainty, at the way animals know without doubt how to rest, how to trust, how to belong. You let it teach you, and you allow your own body to sink deeper into the chair, into the blanket, into the moment. The rain begins to fall more steadily again, tapping once more on the roof in a rhythm like a lullaby's refrain, returning after a pause. It feels almost as though the rain is breathing with you, each drop in time with your inhale and exhale. You let your breath join the rhythm, slow and easy, and the cottage wraps around you like a storybook closing gently on its pages. Part 3 settles here, in this place of warmth and gentle rhythm. The fire glows, the rain hums, the cat purrs, and you rest in the heart of it all, safe, quiet, carried into deeper stillness by the soft music of the night. The night has deepened, but instead of darkness, it feels like layers of softness folding gently around you. The rain has found a steady rhythm again, not rushing, not urgent, just tapping, as if it means to keep you company all the way through until morning. Each drop is a note, each note part of a lullaby that never ends. You shift slightly in the armchair, tucking the blanket closer around you. The wool feels heavier now, warmer, like it has absorbed the very spirit of the fire and is gifting it back to you. The cat, sensing your movement, lifts its head briefly, blinking with eyes that catch the glow of the flames. For a moment, it seems as though the cat's gaze carries secret stories of nights long past, of quiet evenings, of countless fireside hours. But then the eyes soften, the lids droop, and the cat curls in again, a small anchor of calm on your lap. The fire murmurs, a log shifts and collapses gently, sparks fluttering upward like tiny fireflies. They dance just for a moment, then disappear into the chimney, carried away into the night sky, where perhaps they join the stars above the clouds. You imagine the sparks as little messengers, slipping through the rain, whispering to the moon that you are safe, that you are at peace. Your eyes wander toward the bookshelf once more. Tonight, a single book seems to stand out its spine, a soft blue with a faded golden title. You lean slightly forward to read it. Stories for Restful Nights. The words themselves feel like a promise, as if the book exists solely for evenings such as this one. You imagine what tales might be inside, journeys through gentle valleys, wanderings under star-filled skies, dreams of friendly forests and kind oceans. Perhaps, one day soon, you'll open it But tonight, you let the thought linger without reaching, knowing even its presence brings you comfort. The air is thick with scents that blend and soothe, the faint smoke of the fire, the earthy sweetness of the wool blanket, the lingering whisper of chamomile, and the lavender's calm echo from the mantel. Each breath you take gathers these scents together, weaving them into something like an invisible quilt. You breathe in warmth, you breathe out ease, and with every breath, you feel yourself drifting deeper, layer by layer, into stillness. The cat purrs louder for a moment, then softer, as though it has tuned itself exactly to the rhythm of your heartbeat. Its body is warm against you, small but steady, carrying an ancient reassurance. Cats, after all, have spent centuries teaching humans how to rest, how to soften into comfort, how to trust the night. And this one is no different. It is your companion, your guide, your silent friend. Outside the window, the moon peeks through again, brighter this time, breaking free of the drifting clouds. Its light spreads across the wet garden, turning every raindrop into a pearl, every leaf into silver lace. You imagine walking the garden path tomorrow, bending to smell the rosemary, brushing your hand against the mint, gathering a sprig of thyme for your tea. For now, though, the garden glimmers in your mind's eye, waiting patiently for your footsteps. A faint sound rises, the distant call of an owl. It is not sharp or startling, but low and rounded, like the night itself speaking in syllables. The owl's call floats through the rain, through the walls, and reaches you like a lullaby from the forest. It reminds you that the world outside the cottage is alive but gentle tonight, each creature moving slowly, respectfully, within the quiet. You lean your head back, closing your eyes for a moment, and the sounds gather around you. The rain's patter, the fire's murmur, the owl's call, the cat's purr, the clock's heartbeat. Each one plays its part, weaving together into a music that asks nothing of you except to listen, to rest, to be carried. And so, part 4 ends not with action, but with stillness. The cottage, the cat, the rain, the fire, all drawing you deeper into a safe, quiet dream of night. The fire has burned lower now, its glow softer, gentler, more like a drowsy hum than a bright flame. It fills the room not with heat alone, but with a kind of golden hush, a presence that lingers in every corner. Shadows lengthen across the walls, stretching and swaying in a slow, comforting dance. They are never sharp, never harsh, just soft movements that remind you of candlelight on a winter's eve. The cat in your lap has grown heavier, or perhaps you have simply grown more aware of its weight. It is the kind of heaviness that feels safe, like being rooted, like being held. Its tiny breaths rise and fall in a rhythm that seems to match your own. If you listen closely enough, you can almost hear its dreams, the faint twitch of a whisker, the little sigh that slips out between purrs. You imagine the dream world of cats, fields of tall grass bathed in sunlight, butterflies flickering lazily, and endless warm windowsills where sleep is always waiting. You shift your gaze back toward the window. The rain still falls, but now it is finer, quieter, more like a veil than a curtain. Each drop draws delicate lines down the glass, trails that shimmer whenever the firelight catches them. The moon still peers through, soft and silver, and its reflection mingles with the fire's glow on the window pane, creating an illusion of two worlds meeting, one outside, one in. Beyond the glass, you notice a faint mist rising from the ground, curling gently around the garden, like breath from the earth itself. It drapes over the herbs, the flowers, the cobblestones, softening every edge. The mist makes the garden look dreamlike, as though it belongs not entirely to the waking world, but partly to the world of dreams you're drifting toward. You smile softly, knowing you'll wander there tomorrow, but tonight, the garden belongs to the night alone. On the mantle, the little treasures seem to glow more brightly in the dimmer firelight. The seashell catches the light and looks almost alive, as if you could hold it to your ear and hear not only the ocean but also the rain outside. The feather gleams silver and seems ready to lift into the air, though it remains still. The lavender sprig releases a touch more fragrance now, warmed by the low fire, a scent so calming you feel it in your chest. It is as though the mantle itself knows the role it plays, keeper of gentle things, protector of quiet memories. The clock ticks on, steady, soothing. You realize that you are not counting the seconds, not even aware of minutes. Time here feels different, slowed, stretched, softened, as though the cottage exists outside the usual measures. Each tick is a reassurance rather than a reminder, a promise that there is always enough time for rest. The cat shifts once more, pressing itself closer into the curve of your legs, purring deeply, insistently. You stroke it with slow, steady motions, each pass of your hand another thread in the fabric of peace that surrounds you. The fur is warm beneath your palm, alive and velvety. You feel your own breath slow to match the rhythm of your strokes. In, out, in, out. The cat and you perfectly synchronized. You close your eyes for a moment, and the sounds of the night wrap around you more vividly. The rain, like 1,000 tiny fingertips. The owl's low call, softer now, distant but sure. The crackle of the fire, fading but present, like the memory of laughter. And beneath it all, the steady hum of the cat, an anchor to keep you here, in this moment, in this calm. When you open your eyes again, the room feels even more magical, as if it has shifted while your lids were closed. The shadows on the wall look like slow rivers of light. The window seems to shimmer with silver. The fire is smaller, but its warmth feels larger, filling not only the room, but also the space within you. You let yourself melt into the chair, deeper, heavier, but lighter in spirit. Each muscle loosens, each thought drifts further away. The night carries you, steady and kind, and you allow yourself to float in its care. Part 5 closes here, with the fire glowing low, the rain weaving its lullaby, the cat curled close, and you sinking deeper into the quiet embrace of the night. The night feels endless in the most comforting way, like a blanket stretched across the sky, soft and weightless. The rain has found a gentle, steady rhythm, not too loud, not too faint, just the right balance to soothe you into stillness. It is as if the whole world has quieted itself for your sake, offering you this time, this space, to simply rest. The cat shifts slightly in your lap again, pressing its head deeper into the curve of your arm. Its whiskers brush against the fabric of the blanket, and its breath is warm, a steady rise and fall like a lullaby sung without words. You stroke its back once more, your hand moving slowly, tenderly. The purr responds instantly, deepening, filling the room like a soft hum of magic. The fire has burned lower still, now a bed of glowing embers with only the occasional flicker of flame. Yet the warmth it gives off feels even more intimate, like a secret it shares only with you. The embers glow red and orange, small hearts pulsing in unison, and you can't help but feel that they, too, are alive in their own way, breathing warmth, breathing calm. Your eyes wander again to the window. The rain, the mist, and the moonlight have woven together into something otherworldly. The garden outside looks enchanted, veiled in silver, every raindrop a tiny lantern. You can just imagine stepping out into it, barefoot, feeling the cool wetness of stone and earth beneath you, the freshness of air filling your lungs. But you remain inside, where warmth and softness hold you safe, content with the thought alone. A new sound arises, the faint drip of water from the eaves, rhythmic and sure. The drops fall into a little puddle below, and you imagine the rings expanding on its surface, rippling outward like whispers. Each ripple is a message of peace spreading into the night. You picture the garden plants drinking deeply, their leaves glossy with gratitude. Tomorrow they will be brighter, stronger, greener. Tonight they simply rest, just as you do. Your gaze drifts toward the ceiling. The beams of wood above look sturdy, old, and kind. You imagine they have held countless nights like this one, listening to countless rains, sheltering countless dreams. Their quiet strength surrounds you, reminding you that you are safe, that nothing needs to be done, that the night itself is watching over you. The clock ticks softly on the mantle, and you realize that it feels less like time passing and more like a heartbeat of the room itself. The whole cottage seems alive with gentle presence. The fire, the wood, the rain, the clock, the cat, and now you too are part of it, your breath blending into the harmony of sounds. You notice a faint glow in one corner of the room, a lantern, half hidden, left unlit on a small table. Its glass catches the firelight, scattering it into delicate patterns across the wall. The patterns look like stars, tiny constellations drawn just for you. You trace them with your eyes, connecting invisible lines, forming gentle shapes. A bird, a tree, a flower, a cat curled in a crescent. The room itself is telling you a story, quiet and wordless, etched in light and shadow. The cat needs your lap once more before settling fully, its body growing heavier as sleep takes it deeper. Its tiny paw rests against your arm, and you feel its warmth like a promise. Animals trust without hesitation, and in its trust, you find your own trust in this night, this room, this moment. You are safe, you are cared for, you are exactly where you need to be. The rain softens again, tapering into a gentle hush. For a while, there is only the purr, the crackle of a single ember, and your own steady breath. The silence is not empty, it is full, brimming with calm, rich with stillness. It feels like the whole world has leaned closer, listening to the quiet, sharing it with you. And so part 6 closes in this hush, with the cat asleep, the fire low, the rain gentle, and you carried deeper still into the soft embrace of the night. The rain outside drifts into a softer rhythm, like the sound of silk being drawn slowly across glass. Each drop seems more deliberate now, as though the sky itself has grown drowsy and is easing into its own sleep. You listen, letting the quiet music weave into your breath, each inhale and exhale becoming part of the night's song. The cat in your lap has grown so still you wonder if it dreams. Its paws twitch ever so slightly, its whiskers quiver, and a faint, almost inaudible mew slips out, as though it is chasing something gentle and sweet in its slumber. You smile at the thought perhaps it is dreaming of warm fields, chasing butterflies that never tire, or dozing on sunlit stones beside a murmuring brook. Whatever its dream, you know it is safe, just as you are, in the golden circle of this cottage. The fire glows low now, a bed of embers that pulse and sigh. Their light is subdued, softer than candlelight, yet still rich enough to warm the room with a steady radiance. You find yourself gazing at the shifting coals, watching the small bursts of color, deep orange, quiet crimson, a flicker of gold. They shift like tides, like the quiet rise and fall of waves against the shore. You imagine yourself sitting at the edge of that shore, the sea whispering, the sand cool beneath your feet, the stars endless above. The mantle treasures keep their silent vigil. The seashell glows faintly, its spiral catching the ember light. You picture holding it against your ear, hearing not only the sea but the rain as well, as though the shell has learned to keep the memory of every sound it has ever loved. The lavender's fragrance has deepened now, mixing with the earthy sweetness of the firewood. It carries you somewhere else for a moment, rolling hills covered in purple blooms, bees humming lazily, the air warm and golden. You breathe in, and it is as if the hillside itself has come to keep you company. The clock ticks on. The sound has become so much a part of the room that you hardly notice it, yet when you focus, it is there, steady, certain, a rhythm that reassures you with every passing second. It is not counting down, not hurrying you forward. It is simply keeping you anchored in the present, in this moment, where peace stretches wide. You let your eyes wander once more to the window. The garden lies silver under the moonlight, each raindrop shining like a pearl, each leaf gleaming as though brushed with starlight. The mist still lingers, curled low across the cobblestones, softening every line. You imagine walking through it slowly, the cool air against your skin, your breath joining the mist as you wander down the quiet path. Somewhere in the branches, the owl calls again, low, rounded, tender. It feels less like a bird's cry and more like the voice of the night itself, reminding you that you are not alone in this stillness. You picture yourself opening the door, stepping out with the cat trailing at your heels. The air would be cool, the stones damp and shining beneath your feet. You would walk down the garden path, your hands brushing against wet rosemary and mint, their scents bursting fresh into the air. The cat would dart ahead, pausing to look back with bright, knowing eyes, then continuing on, leading you deeper into the moonlit mist. But you remain where you are, tucked warm inside the cottage, content in the imagining. It is enough to know the garden waits for you, enough to see it in your mind and feel its presence even now. The cat shifts again, curling itself tighter, purring softly, as though it has decided to lend you its dream. Its warmth is steady, grounding. You feel your body sinking deeper into the chair, into the blanket, into the rhythm of the night. The world beyond the cottage seems far away, softened by rain and moonlight, until all that remains is this room, this fire, this quiet companionship. Your eyelids grow heavier, but not with struggle, with ease, like petals closing at dusk, like the tide pulling gently back to sea. You let them lower, halfway, then fully, and the sounds grow even richer in the darkness behind your eyes. The purr, the rain, The embers, quiet sigh, the clock's patient beat, they gather around you like a lullaby, written just for this night. Part 7 closes here, with your breath slowed, your body heavy, your heart light, carried on the gentle music of the rain and the cat's steady dreams. The embers in the fireplace glow like tiny jewels nestled in velvet, each one breathing warmth into the room. The fire no longer dances with flame, but whispers with its glow, as if even it has grown sleepy. The air feels hushed, almost sacred, the kind of quiet that settles over a chapel or a meadow at dawn. Every sound seems softened by it, held within a blanket of peace. The cat's purr has deepened into something steady and low, like the hum of the earth itself. You feel it through the blanket, through your body, until it seems as though the whole chair is vibrating gently beneath you. The warmth of the cat against your lap is steady, anchoring, a little sun that refuses to fade, even in the cool night. You rest your hand lightly on its fur, and the connection between you is simple, wordless, perfect. You take in another breath, and the scents of the room greet you once more. Cedarwood from the fire, lavender from the mantel, a faint, lingering sweetness of chamomile tea, and the earthy musk of the wool blanket. Together they form an atmosphere that is almost tangible, as though the air itself has woven a quilt just for you. With every inhale, you draw calm into your body. With every exhale, you let go of the weight of the day. The rain outside is softer now, less insistent, more like a lull. It patters lightly against the roof, trickles down the glass, and drips from the eaves into the garden below. You hear the rhythm of droplets landing in puddles, and you imagine the expanding rings of water shimmering in the moonlight. The garden must look like a painting now, wet leaves glistening, cobblestones polished smooth by rain, mist coiled low and luminous in the silver light. You close your eyes for a moment and picture yourself wandering there, barefoot, the cool stones beneath your feet, the damp air brushing your skin, the fragrance of mint and rosemary rising up as your hand brushes over them. The owl calls again in the distance, low and gentle, not startling, but reassuring, a reminder that the night is alive but calm. In your mind, you follow the path slowly, and the cat trots just ahead, its tail flicking lightly, a little guide through the mist. The mantle treasures still glimmer faintly when you open your eyes again. The feather seems almost to glow silver now, as if moonlight has seeped into its veins. The seashell has a quiet sheen, its spiral like a small galaxy curled into itself. The lavender looks softer, its tiny buds a dusky purple that matches the quiet mood of the night. These little objects feel alive somehow, as though they too breathe in the peace of the cottage and release it back into the air. The clock ticks on, gentle and patient. You no longer think of it as keeping time, but as keeping rhythm, like a drummer holding the steady beat of a song, while the rain and fire play their melodies above it. Each tick reassures you that all is well, all is steady, all is safe. The cat shifts once, tucks its nose under its paw, and settles completely. Its purr softens but does not stop. You marvel at how natural rest comes to it, how easily it lets go, how fully it trusts the moment, and you allow yourself to follow its example, letting your body grow heavier, letting your thoughts drift like leaves on a stream. Your eyelids feel heavier still, and when they close again, you drift into the soundscape around you. The rain is steady, the embers sigh, the owl calls once more, and then falls silent, as if satisfied that all is well. The night seems endless, not in size, but in gentleness, as though it will hold you forever if you wish. And so part 8 closes here, with you resting deeply, the cat curled close, the fire a quiet glow, and the rain carrying you further into the dreamlike hush of the night. The night has grown quieter still, as if every sound has slowed to half its pace. Even the rain has softened into the faintest patter, so delicate it feels like a whisper against the windows. The cottage seems wrapped in layers of silence and warmth, a cocoon where nothing can reach you but calm. The embers glow in the hearth, their light a tender pulse. They no longer spark or crackle, but instead sigh gently as they fade into deeper shades of red and gold. The glow spreads across the rug, across the walls, turning every corner of the room into a place touched by warmth. It feels less like fire now, and more like the memory of fire, soft, lasting, and kind. The cat is still curled on your lap, utterly surrendered to sleep. Its small body rises and falls with each breath, and its warmth seeps steadily into you. The purr has quieted now, so faint you feel it more than hear it, a vibration under your palm when you rest your hand on its fur. Its trust is complete, its rest unshaken, and simply sharing its stillness seems to draw you deeper into your own. Your eyes drift once more to the window. The mist outside is thicker now, curling across the garden like a silver blanket. The moon has tucked itself behind the clouds, so the world outside looks softer, more mysterious, as though it belongs to dreams. The herbs and flowers bend under the weight of raindrops, glistening in the faint light that remains. You imagine them sighing in relief, nourished and content, resting until morning. The mantle treasures are silhouettes now in the dim ember light. The feather looks like a silver line drawn in the air, the seashell like a spiral doorway into some faraway ocean dream, the lavender a shadowed sprig whose fragrance still lingers faintly in the room. They are quiet companions, keeping watch with patience, asking for nothing, giving their calm presence freely. The clock ticks on, steady and sure. Its rhythm has become so natural, so blended with the sounds around you, that you feel it not only in your ears, but in your chest, like another heartbeat, one that belongs not to you alone, but to the cottage itself. Together, your breath and the clock's tick weave into the music of the night. You close your eyes again, and in the darkness behind them, images drift gently. You see the garden, washed in silver mist. You see the owl perched on a high branch, its eyes glowing softly in the dark. You see the cobblestones gleam with rain, leading toward a path that disappears into the trees. You imagine walking that path slowly, the cat padding beside you, the air cool, the world hushed, every step leading you deeper into dream. The cat shifts slightly in its sleep, stretching one paw before curling tighter, its body pressing closer against you. Its warmth is a weight you welcome, grounding you here, in the chair, in the blanket, in this safe little world. You stroke its fur once more, your hand moving so slowly it feels like a part of your breathing, in and out, up and down. The embers fade a little more. They glow now, like distant stars shimmering low on the horizon. The rain grows lighter still, almost fading, almost nothing, but still enough to keep the rhythm alive. The night holds everything together. Your breath, the cat's dreams, the rain, the clock, woven into a single, endless lullaby. And so, part 9 closes here, with the fire dim, the garden misted, the cat asleep, and you sinking deeper into the gentle embrace of the night's endless calm. The night feels as though it has entered its deepest hour, when time stretches long and wide, and every sound is softened into quiet harmony. The rain has almost faded now, leaving behind only a delicate drizzle, a faint tapping on the roof like fingertips brushing lightly across glass. The hush outside mirrors the hush inside, as if the whole world is sleeping alongside you. The fire in the hearth has become a cradle of glowing embers, their light dim yet steady, like the last lanterns burning in a quiet village street. The warmth they give is softer now, not intense, but lingering gentle waves of heat that seem to hold the entire room together. The shadows on the walls move less, settling into calm shapes that sway only slightly, as if even they are drowsy. The cat rests heavily on your lap, its tiny body fully surrendered to slumber. Its warmth radiates through the blanket, a steady glow that anchors you to the present moment. Its purr has grown faint, almost imperceptible, but still there like the low hum of a lullaby hidden beneath silence. From time to time, its tail flicks once, then stills again, perhaps chasing some fleeting dream. You notice how the cottage breathes with you. The wood beams creak softly, stretching as if in their own slow sleep. The clock ticks steadily, no longer a measure of passing time, but a reassurance that the world remains steady, beat after beat, moment after moment. The sound has blended so deeply into the night that it feels like your own heart has found a companion rhythm. Your eyes drift to the window again. The mist outside is thick, softening the outlines of the garden until it looks like a watercolor painting. The herbs bow under droplets, their forms blurred into shadowy shapes. The cobblestones glisten faintly, like polished stones beneath a thin stream. It feels like a dream world, one step removed from waking, existing for those who peer out into it at this quiet hour. You close your eyes and imagine walking out into that mist, the air cool and damp against your skin. You picture the cat leaping down from your lap to pad softly beside you. Your footsteps are soundless, and the mist curls gently around your legs. Every breath you take fills you with freshness, as though the night air carries a promise of renewal. You walk slowly, steadily, with no destination needed, only the joy of wandering. The owl calls once more, faint and distant, its voice mellow and low. It is not a warning, not a cry, but a lull, part of the night's symphony. You imagine it perched high in a tree, its feathers fluffed, eyes glowing golden in the shadows. It, too, is a keeper of the night, watching calmly, guarding the stillness. Back in the cottage, the mantle treasures glow faintly in the ember light. The seashell looks like a small moon, holding echoes of the sea. The feather lies in perfect stillness, yet you can almost picture it floating gently in some unseen breeze. The lavender sprig seems to release one last sigh of fragrance, wrapping the air with a soft floral calm. Each item feels alive with quiet magic, as though it has been waiting for centuries just to bring peace to this night. You stroke the cat's fur one last time, your hand slow, your palm warm. The softness under your fingers feels infinite, endless, like the very texture of comfort itself. The cat doesn't stir, but its purr deepens faintly, as if it acknowledges your touch even in dreams. Your eyelids grow heavier still, like curtains drawing closed at the end of a gentle play. You allow them to lower, And the darkness is not empty. It is filled with sound, with warmth, with presence. You hear the faint patter of rain, the sigh of the embers, the clock's steady tick, and the quiet breath of the cat. Together, they weave a lullaby, without beginning or end. And so, part 10 closes here, with you drifting deeper, the cottage holding you, the night wrapping around you, the fire and rain and cat keeping perfect watch as you sink into the softest part of the night. The cottage is hushed now, wrapped in the kind of stillness that feels almost sacred. The rain has slowed to a faint drizzle, so soft it could almost be mistaken for dew settling out of the night air. Each drop that lingers on the window pane catches the ember light, glowing faintly, as if tiny stars have descended to rest there until morning. The embers in the fireplace are dimmer now, but they glow with a patient persistence. Their warmth is subtle yet steady, drifting across the room in waves. Each ember seems like a little world unto itself, a quiet universe pulsing gently, fading slowly but never in a hurry. You find yourself watching them with the same calm focus you'd give to a sky full of constellations. The cat lies completely still on your lap, heavy with deep sleep. Its warmth is constant, a living comfort that grounds you to this moment. The rise and fall of its breath is slow, unbroken, a rhythm so steady you find yourself matching it unconsciously. Each tiny breath the cat takes feels like a gift of calm passed along to you. Its fur is soft under your hand, your fingers moving so gently you wonder if you are touching it at all, or if the warmth itself is enough to carry you. The room is painted in shadows now, yet there is no darkness here. The glow of the embers is enough to shape every corner, to draw outlines of chair legs and rug edges, to paint the bookshelf in gentle strokes of red and gold. The walls seem to lean inward, not to press, but to hold, like arms wrapping you in safety. The clock ticks on the mantel, each sound a soft heartbeat in the stillness. You realize it has become less a measure of passing hours and more a companion, its rhythm keeping you anchored, reminding you that every second is enough, every moment whole. Time in this place is not rushing forward, it is circling gently, surrounding you in calm. You close your eyes, and the sounds seem even closer. The rain is a faint hum, a whisper of silver against the roof. The embers sigh occasionally, shifting with a soft crackle. The cat's purr is faint, but present, like a thread of music woven through silence. And beneath it all, the sound of your own breath joins the harmony. In the darkness behind your eyes, you picture the garden again. The mist still curls low over the cobblestones, glowing faintly in the moonlight that slips now and then through the thinning clouds. You see herbs bending beneath droplets, silver pearls trembling on rosemary, mint, and thyme. You imagine yourself stepping onto the path once more, the stones cool beneath your feet, the air cool against your skin. The cat trots ahead, a shadow among shadows, tail high like a little lantern leading the way. Far above, you picture stars hidden behind the veil of clouds, still shining even if unseen. You know they are there, ancient, steady, waiting for the sky to clear. Somehow, their presence adds to the peace of the night, a quiet reminder that vastness itself is watching over you. You let the image fade and open your eyes halfway. The mantle treasures glow faintly in the ember light. The seashell is a small spiral moon. The feather seems weightless, even in stillness. The lavender sprig, though shadowed, releases another whisper of fragrance. a final exhale of calm into the air. The cat shifts once, a tiny murmur in its sleep, then curls even tighter, pressing its nose into your hand, as if to say, "Stay." And you do. You stay in this chair, in this blanket, in this warm little world, where every sound and shadow exists to cradle you. Part 11 closes here, in the deepest hour of night, with the rain soft, the embers glowing, the cat dreaming, and you carried further into the quiet embrace of rest. The night feels as though it has slowed to the gentlest pace, as if time itself has grown sleepy. The drizzle outside is now barely more than a hush, a misty murmur that brushes softly against the windows. The air is fresh and cool, but inside the cottage, warmth and stillness hold you tenderly, as though nothing could ever disturb this peace. The embers in the hearth glow faintly, a scattering of warm light breathing in slow pulses. Occasionally, one shifts and gives a quiet crack, a sound so soft it feels like the night exhaling. Their glow paints the room in dusky amber, giving the walls, the rug, and the armchair a dreamlike glow. The fire no longer speaks loudly, but it doesn't need to. It is presence itself, a steady companion in the dark. The cat is utterly lost in sleep now, curled in a perfect crescent on your lap. Its little body is warm and steady, the rise and fall of its breath as calm as the ticking clock. Every so often, its paw twitches as if it runs across a meadow in its dreams. Its whiskers quiver faintly, and a soft sigh escapes it. You smile, feeling the deep simplicity of its trust, the way it offers you comfort simply by being there. The clock ticks gently on the mantel, each sound round and patient. You no longer think of it as counting time. Instead, it feels like a lullaby, all on its own. Each tick a note, each note a reminder that you are held, that you are safe, that nothing is expected of you in this moment but rest. You glance at the window, and though the night is still veiled in mist, there is a subtle shift in the light. The moon hides and reveals itself behind drifting clouds, and each time it peeks through, the garden glimmers faintly. The herbs bow gracefully beneath droplets, the cobblestones gleam with silver, and the mist coils like threads of silk, weaving mystery into the night. You imagine stepping outside once more, barefoot, the damp earth soft beneath you. The air would be cool but kind, the mist wrapping around you like a gentle scarf. The cat would trot beside you, its small paws silent on the stones. Together, you would walk slowly through the silvered garden, breathing in the scent of mint and rosemary, hearing only the faint drip of water from the eaves. The owl would call again in the distance, a mellow note that belongs more to dreams than to waking. Back inside, the treasures on the mantel keep their vigil. The seashell glows faintly, and in the hush, you almost hear it murmur a memory of ocean waves mingling with rain. The feather gleams like a silver thread in the ember light, delicate and light. The lavender sprig continues to release its fragrance, sweet and calm, a reminder that even the smallest things carry great gentleness. Your eyelids grow heavy again, the weight pleasant, the kind that comes when you are perfectly safe. You allow them to lower, and the darkness behind them is warm, not empty. The sounds surround you, the soft tick of the clock, the faint drizzle outside, the breath of the cat, the sigh of the embers. Together, they weave a lullaby without words, one that seems to flow through the very beams of the cottage. Your breath slows further, your body loosens into the chair, into the blanket, into the night itself. You feel as though you are floating, not away from this place, but deeper into it, deeper into rest, deeper into quiet. And so, part 12 closes here with the cottage holding you, the cat curled close, the rain and the embers whispering softly, and you drifting further into the endless calm of night. The night has become the gentlest of companions, a hush that seems to stretch endlessly, soft and protective. The drizzle outside is almost gone now, just the faintest kiss of moisture on the windows, like a whisper you can only half hear. The silence that follows is not empty, but full, brimming with the presence of everything at rest. The embers in the hearth glow faintly, small circles of light breathing their last warmth into the room. Each one flickers slowly, as if savoring the quiet before it fades. Their glow spreads thin across the rug and the walls, tinting the air with a honeyed hue. You could almost imagine the embers as little guardians, staying awake to keep watch while the rest of the house sleeps. The cat on your lap is completely surrendered to its dreams now. Its warmth is steady, its breathing deep, the purr reduced to the faintest hum you can only feel against your hand. Every so often, its ear twitches or its tail stirs slightly, but it never wakes. Its small world of dreams is stitched so closely to your own that you feel part of it, as though you, too, are wandering through fields of sunlight and soft grass where nothing hurried ever happens. The clock ticks softly, endlessly patient. Each tick is a soft brushstroke in the quiet, a rhythm that reassures you of steadiness. You don't need to know the hour, it is irrelevant. In this cottage, time is not measured in minutes or hours, but in the gentle weaving of breath, warmth, and sound. You glance toward the window, and the mist outside has thickened, curling low around the garden, turning it into a landscape of silver and shadow. The moon, hidden again behind clouds, reveals only a faint glow, enough to make the outlines of the herbs and cobblestones shimmer faintly. The garden looks like something from a dream now, vague, softened, yet deeply beautiful. In your imagination, you step into that garden once more. The cat, though asleep in your lap, seems to walk beside you in this inner vision. Its tail sways slowly, its eyes glimmer with quiet wisdom. Together you move through the mist, each step soundless, each breath filling you with cool, fresh air. The herbs brush against your hands, releasing soft fragrances, mint, rosemary, thyme, each one blending into the night. You pause and lift your face toward the sky, breathing deeply, letting the cool mist kiss your skin. The owl calls again, distant but steady. Its voice feels less like a bird and more like the night itself, reminding you all is well, all is safe, all is quiet. The cold drifts, fades, and silence settles in again, holding you like a lullaby. Inside the cottage, the mantle treasures gleam faintly. The seashell is pale and luminous, the feather silvery and light, the lavender sprig dark in shadow but still releasing its fragrance. They seem like old friends, their presence steady, their purpose simple, to remind you of gentleness, of calm, of rest. Your eyelids grow heavier again, and when they close, you do not resist. The sounds gather around you, the faint hush of drizzle, the clock's patient tick, the ember's sigh, the cat's quiet breath. They weave together into a cocoon of stillness. You sink into it gladly, body loosening, breath slowing, mind floating like a leaf on a gentle stream. And so, part 13 closes here, with the rain nearly gone, the fire dim, the cat dreaming deeply, and you drifting further into a dream of your own safe calm, carried by the night. The night has folded itself into the deepest quiet, as though every sound in the world has softened to a lull. The drizzle outside has nearly ceased, leaving behind only the occasional drop sliding from the roof, landing with a faint, rounded tap in the puddles below. Each one is a note in the night's long song, spaced so far apart that silence fills the spaces between them like velvet. The embers in the fireplace are faint now, glowing like distant stars scattered across a dark sky. Their warmth is still there, steady but subtle, a gentle presence rather than a bright heat. They seem to breathe with you, pulsing softly in rhythm with your slow inhale, your slow exhale. Even as they dim, they carry the memory of flame, the promise of warmth, and the comfort of light. The cat on your lap has melted completely into rest, its body warm and limp with trust. Its breath is slow and steady, the faint hum of its purr still vibrating against your hand when you stroke it gently. Its tiny movements in sleep, an ear flick, a whisker twitch, a paw shifting, are like the ripples of dreams passing over its still body. You imagine its dream world is bright and boundless, fields of flowers, sunny windowsills, endless gentle hands offering affection, and in some way you are there with it, sharing in that dream. The clock ticks on, steady as ever. Its sound is no longer something you notice with your ears alone. It feels as though it resonates through your whole body, each tick aligning with your heartbeat, with your breath. It is not a measure of passing time, but of presence, a reminder that this moment, right now, is enough. You glance toward the window. The garden is cloaked in mist, so thick it looks like a painting in soft watercolor. The herbs bend beneath the weight of droplets, their outlines blurred. The cobblestones glisten faintly, reflecting the faintest glow of hidden moonlight. The night sky is veiled, the stars unseen, but you sense them above, steady and timeless, waiting to shine again. In your mind's eye, you step out once more into that mist. You feel the damp coolness wrap around you, gentle and refreshing. The cat, though asleep, in reality, walks beside you in this dream journey. Its small paws make no sound on the cobblestones. You breathe deeply, filling yourself with the fresh night air, tinged with the fragrance of mint and thyme released by the rain. Each step you take feels slower, softer, lighter, as though the mist itself is carrying you. The owl calls again, a single low note that drifts through the night like a lullaby. It does not linger, but fades quickly, leaving behind an even deeper silence. The silence is full, not empty, full of presence, full of rest, full of assurance that the night is watching over you. Back inside, the mantle treasures keep their quiet vigil. The seashell glimmers faintly, the feather shines in silver shadow, and the lavender sprig continues to release its soft fragrance. They seem like guardians of the night, each one offering a reminder: the sea's calm, the sky's lightness, the earth's gentle blooms. Your eyelids grow heavier still, as if weighted with clouds. When they close, you are carried further, deeper, into a space that feels infinite and kind. The sounds, the clock's steady tick, the faint drip outside, the soft breath of the cat, the whisper of the embers all weave into a lullaby with no beginning, no end. And so part 14 closes here, with the fire nearly faded, the rain almost gone, the cat dreaming soundly, and you drifting at the edge of dreams, wrapped in the softest hush of night. The night has reached its deepest stillness. The drizzle outside has faded almost completely, leaving only the occasional soft drip of water slipping from the eaves. Each drop is like a final note in the evening's long lullaby, lingering in the silence before dissolving into the earth below. The world is quiet now, entirely at rest. The fire has dimmed to its last embers, glowing faintly, a constellation of tiny red stars scattered in the hearth. Their light is soft, steady, and tender, enough to cast a faint amber glow across the room. Even as they fade, their warmth remains, not as heat, but as presence, gentle, enduring, a reminder that comfort lingers long after the flame. The cat on your lap is still curled in perfect peace, its body warm and weighty against you. Its purr is barely audible now, softened into the rhythm of its breath, a breath that matches your own. You stroke its fur one last time, your hand moving so slowly, so lightly, that the movement feels like a whisper. The cat sighs in its sleep, pressing its nose deeper into the blanket, utterly content. The clock on the mantel ticks on, steady as ever. Its sound no longer feels like time at all, but like a heartbeat, patient, reliable, eternal. It keeps rhythm with the night, with your breath, with the cottage itself. Tick by tick, it reassures you that all is steady, all is safe, all is well. You glance once more at the window. The garden outside is still veiled in mist, silvered by the faintest suggestion of moonlight. The herbs glisten with lingering droplets. The cobblestones shine faintly in the dim glow. It is a dreamlike scene, softened, hushed, belonging more to the world of sleep than to waking. You imagine the garden, the village, the hills beyond, all resting in the same calm, every leaf, every stone, every rooftop, under the spell of night's embrace. The treasures on the mantel gleam faintly in the emberlight. The seashell is a quiet spiral, holding the memory of oceans. The feather is light, silvered, a symbol of air and sky. The lavender sprig releases its last sigh of fragrance, sweet and calming, as though offering you a final blessing for the night. You let your eyelids lower once more, this time fully, this time completely. Behind them, there is no darkness, only warmth. The sounds gather around you one last time, the faint drip of water, the embers sigh, the clock's gentle tick, the steady breath of the cat. They weave into a perfect harmony, a lullaby that carries you deeper and deeper. Your body is heavy, your breath slow, your mind drifting like a leaf on a gentle stream. You feel yourself floating, carried not away from this place, but deeper into it, deeper into rest, deeper into the quiet heart of the night. The cottage holds you, the rain has cleansed the world, the cat keeps you warm, the fire has whispered its final goodnight. And so the story ends here, not with a farewell, but with an invitation to let go, to surrender, to drift into the deepest sleep. You are safe, you are warm, you are home. The night is yours, and it will carry you softly into dreams. Good night.